The morning sun rose gently over the Zaragoza Military Academy, casting long shadows across the neatly trimmed grass and the polished boots of cadets standing at attention. The air carried the familiar rhythm of command, marching drills, shouted orders, the metallic clang of discipline. Another routine morning, another day of expectation, another opportunity for cadets to prove themselves in perfect order. But something unusual lingered in the air today. A subtle energy, a quiet tension. It wasn't the usual anticipation of drills or inspections. It was something different, something powerful, something that would soon make the world stop and watch. Princess Leonor, heir to the Spanish throne, moved across the training ground with a presence that was impossible to ignore. Not louder, not faster, just different. Her gaze was steady, unwavering, and it cut through the familiar hum of commands like a blade. Every movement seemed measured yet instinctively commanding. And in that moment, the ordinary cadence of the academy shifted. They say a leader is made in moments, not by titles. And today, that truth revealed itself. The whistle blew for the endurance run, signaling the beginning of a routine drill. Cadets surged forward in perfect formation, every step a testament to discipline. Leonor led her group from the front, boots striking the ground in sync, eyes forward, determination etched into every line of her face. For months, she had trained quietly, enduring long hours before dawn, mastering every drill with precision and humility. No special treatment, no attention-seeking, just commitment. Halfway through the run, a sudden stumble broke the rhythm. One cadet faltered under the weight of exhaustion, causing the formation to wobble. Shouts erupted across the field, alarms blared in the mental calculus of leadership, and cameras that had been rolling for documentation now captured something extraordinary. Leonor didn't hesitate. She didn't push ahead. She stopped. She turned. And she went back. For a moment, time seemed suspended. Her hand reached out to steady the faltering cadet. Her voice, though soft, carried an authority that demanded attention. "We finished together," she whispered. Or maybe it was, "No one is left behind." The exact words were lost in the wind, but their weight was felt by everyone watching. In those seconds, the future queen revealed something far more powerful than rank or protocol. She revealed empathy. She revealed courage. She revealed leadership born not from authority, but from connection. Together, they crossed the finish line. Not first, not flawless, but united. And in that unity, a statement was made, one that rippled far beyond the academy walls. Within hours, the moment went viral. Social media exploded with clips and commentary. Analysts debated. Royal watchers paused, rewound, and watched again. Who was this young woman who could command such respect while bending the rules of expectation? Who was this Princess Leonor, whose public persona of poise and discipline had suddenly given way to raw humanity? The answer was simple. It was her choice. Leadership isn't inherited, it's revealed. And she had chosen, in that fleeting moment, to reveal her true measure. But the story doesn't end there. To understand why the world reacted so intensely, we must trace the months leading up to this day, the months of quiet struggle, private discipline, and relentless expectation. Leonor's life has always been under scrutiny. Born into royalty, every smile, every gesture, every word has been watched and analyzed. But in the academy, behind the walls of protocol and ceremony, she sought something different. She sought to define herself not by titles, but by actions. Her mornings began before dawn. She trained in silence, pushing herself through grueling routines that tested her endurance, focus, and resilience. She ran until her lungs burned, lifted weights until her arms trembled, and studied strategy long after her peers had gone to rest. She did not do this for recognition or praise. She did it because she believed that every step, every choice, every decision mattered. On this day, all of that preparation converged into a single, visible act. The faltering cadet, the broken formation, the instinctive pause, all of it became a stage for character, not ceremony. Observers, including instructors and peers, later recounted that the look in her eyes was not one of superiority. It was not pride. It was something deeper, an understanding that leadership is about responsibility for others, even in moments when it is easier to act for oneself. King Felipe, who had visited the academy earlier that week, reportedly watched the footage alone in his study. There was no public statement. No fanfare. Just a quiet awe, a father witnessing the emergence of a woman who was growing into the weight of a crown she had yet to inherit. Queen Letizia, ever composed, sent a simple message: "You made Spain proud." But even her words could not capture the magnitude of what had occurred. The event sparked conversations across Spain and the world. Analysts dissected the clip. Psychologists commented on her composure under stress. Historians drew parallels to other royal figures who had demonstrated leadership through action rather than speech. Everyone wanted to know, what does this reveal about Princess Leonor's future? Could a single moment on a dusty training ground truly indicate the kind of queen she will become? The answer lies not in speculation but in understanding her character. For Leonor, leadership has always been intertwined with humanity. She has learned that authority without empathy is empty, and power without responsibility is hollow. She has watched, observed, and reflected on the world around her, seeing the impact that small gestures, quiet interventions, and compassionate choices can have. And on this day, the lessons crystallized into action. Observers reported a profound silence as she guided the cadet to safety and completion. Instructors described the scene as unprecedented, not because the protocol was broken, but because the spirit of leadership had been elevated. Every cadet present felt the shift. The hierarchy remained, yet it was infused with understanding, care, and mutual respect. The ripple effect extended far beyond the field. Families, citizens, and young people across Spain found inspiration in her act. They saw that royalty could be approachable, that strength could coexist with empathy, and that even the most structured institutions could accommodate humanity. Across Europe, commentators acknowledged the rarity of such a moment. The young princess had demonstrated a timeless truth: the greatest power lies not in domination, but in the courage to uplift others. Yet, the moment also unveiled personal stakes. Leonor is a young woman facing enormous expectations, balancing personal growth with the responsibilities of monarchy. Close sources describe the pressure she feels, to meet public standards, to honor tradition, and to project an image worthy of a nation. But they also note that she embraces these pressures, channeling them into action rather than anxiety. This incident was not a calculated display. It was instinct, authenticity, integrity made visible. As evening fell over the academy, the sun casting long golden shadows, the training ground emptied. But the moment remained. Cadets and instructors alike carried it with them. Footage circulated, replayed, and analyzed. The world began to see her not merely as a princess, but as a leader in formation, one who embodies the balance between duty and humanity. In the coming days, private reflections unfolded within the royal family. Conversations that could never be public revealed pride, concern, and hope. King Felipe, reflecting on the footage, reportedly felt both awe and quiet apprehension. He understood the symbolic weight of the act, and its implications for his daughter's future. Queen Letizia, who has long guided Leonor with quiet wisdom, saw the moment as a confirmation: the lessons of humility, discipline, and empathy had been absorbed, tested, and proven. And the world watched. Scholars debated the incident's historical significance. Citizens shared their interpretations. Young people saw possibility in her example, a future leader who understands that empathy is as vital as authority, that action speaks louder than ceremony, and that compassion can define a legacy. The training ground, once a simple field of drills and routines, had transformed into a stage for destiny. In those brief, yet profound moments, Princess Leonor demonstrated the essence of leadership, a choice to act with integrity even when easier paths exist. She reminded the world that royalty is not only about titles, crowns, or ceremonies, it is about character. By the end of the day, the footage had reached millions, each viewer carrying a piece of the story forward. Spain, and indeed the world, witnessed a young woman stepping fully into her future, grounded in empathy, guided by responsibility, and prepared to lead with heart as well as head. And so, the story of Princess Leonor at the Zaragoza Military Academy is more than a viral moment. It is a lesson in humanity, a study in leadership, and a glimpse of the queen she is becoming. For those who watched, it was clear, she did not shock the world with extravagance or ceremony. She shocked it with a simple, undeniable truth: true power is revealed in the choices we make for others. In the quiet aftermath, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the academy grew still, one truth remained. Princess Leonor had shown Spain, and the world, what it truly means to lead. Not from above, but beside. Not for acclaim, but for connection. Not for show, but for the enduring impact of a single, compassionate act. And in that, a future queen was born, not in title alone, but in action, courage, and heart.